If I had to become a digital nomad in 2025, here's how I'd do it. The first thing I would do is I would choose a path. And by the way, I'm only going to tell you the things that I myself have done. These are tried and tested and proven methods that I have used to put myself in a position where at the age of 24, I am able to make money online from videos like this. So if you want to be in a position like this, pay very close attention and actually apply the things that I teach you throughout this video, starting with choosing a path. What does it mean to choose a path? Well, pretty much everybody who makes money online has the same story, some variation of the same story. They tried drop shipping, they tried SMMA, they tried maybe video editing, they tried all of these different business models, and what they eventually realized was that the business models weren't the problem. They were the problem. You see, there is somebody making money with every single path that you see in this make money online space. Every path is profitable. Every path is viable. But these paths are only viable if you stick to them. You have to fully commit. Something else that you'll notice amongst everybody who is making money online, myself included, is that they literally just didn't quit. They weren't the best man, they were the last man standing. One of my favorite quotes from Alex Hormozy is, "Business is not a game of best man wins, it's a game of last man standing." And this online entrepreneurial space is no exception to that. You have to choose a path and you have to commit to it fully, meaning that when you see better opportunities presenting themselves, you do not utilize those opportunities. You stick to your guns and you keep doing what it is that you're doing, with the caveat that you're willing to pivot. So what does this mean? Let's say, for example, you choose to do YouTube like me. That's the choice that I made when I was 19 years old. When I was 19 and I was making YouTube videos, you can confirm this for yourself, I was making entertainment content. I was making vlogs, I was doing Tinder videos, I was doing public interviews, talking to girls, asking them to rate me on a scale from 1 to 10, marry, kill, smash, all of these other types of entertainment videos, because I thought that that was going to be my ticket out of working at my retail job. But as it turns out, there was a higher calling for me that I literally couldn't have seen from where I was at that time. And for you, the same will very likely be true. If you start that drop shipping store, you might think that that first product is the one that's going to hit, but it probably won't be. It's probably going to be in a niche that you're not even familiar with yet. But the only way you'll find it is if you stick around long enough to find it. So you have to commit to whatever it is, whatever path that you're picking as far as making money online so that you can travel the world and be a digital nomad and live the laptop lifestyle like I do. And you have to be willing to pivot whenever things aren't going your way. So you're not changing your business model. You're not going from drop shipping to growth operating. Instead of doing that, you're simply going back to the drawing board and changing the products that you're selling. You're changing your marketing strategy. You're switching from Facebook ads to TikTok organic for your products, but you're not switching your business model. And with YouTube, you're switching your niche. You're making a different type of content. You're trying a different style of editing, but you're not giving up on the ultimate fundamental idea of making content. And honestly, for my money, that is what I would recommend. If you're just completely lost, you don't know which path to pick, I would recommend that you create content. Because something else that you'll probably notice is that there are people from every single space, Amazon FBA, dropshipping, growth operating, copywriting. There are people from every single online entrepreneurial space who are creating content, and that is for good reason. It's because people are waking up to the fact that having a personal brand is the most valuable asset that you can ever have in this day and age. Having a personal brand allows you to make connections and network with people literally by accident. People come to you. Instead of you having to go out and make connections and go to these events that you don't want to go to, people come to you. They come to your inbox. They come to your DMs. And they are willing to provide value to you simply because you don't just have an asset, but you are an asset. Because when you build a personal brand, you become an asset. And on top of that, as somebody who's tried multiple different business models, everything from day trading to drop shipping to blogging and all of these other different business models that I can't even think of right now, YouTube is the easiest one. It's the easiest one. It's the lowest barrier of entry, and there are definitive metrics for when you start making money. Whenever you make videos, you know that when you get 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers, you will start making money on YouTube. Plain and simple. With dropshipping, there is no definitive metric that tells you when you will start making money. So you don't know how long it's going to take. At least with YouTube, you know what you're working toward and how close you are to that goal. So I would recommend personally that you start with YouTube and you approach it like a personal brand, meaning that you're sharing all of your interests with the world. Because guess what? You're not the only person who's into the things that you're into. There are other people out there who are into basketball, Pokemon cards, and archery. There are other people who are into the same things that you're into. You think that you're weird and one of a kind, and you are, but there are other people who are one of a kind in the same way that you are. I know that sounds contradictory, but basically, your tribe is out there. Your tribe is out there, and they just don't know that you exist. Your job is to simply let them know that you exist. And once you do that, the money will literally start to print itself. Passive income. I make money from videos that I filmed when I was 19, 20 years old. Videos that I don't even remember what the subject matter was or what I said in the videos. I don't remember anything about those videos, but I know that Capital One remembers because I'm still getting money from those videos. And it adds up over time. It stacks up. So as you make more and more content, you make more and more money passively, or at least as close to passively as you could ever hope to achieve. Because truthfully, passive income is somewhat of a myth. It requires action on the front end. But once you take that action, like I'm doing right now filming this video, you will continue to be rewarded for it disproportionately as the years go on. Now, once you pick your path, this is where the winners separate themselves from the losers. The next thing you need to do is you need to burn the ships. You need to burn the ships. What does that mean? That means you need to go all in. That means you need to quit your job. You need to drop out of school. Now listen, I am not telling you to drop out of school if you have one semester left and you're looking to be a doctor. Honestly, if you're looking to be a doctor, I don't even know why you're watching this video. This video is for people who want to be digital nomads. And if you want to be a digital nomad and you want to be an entrepreneurial digital nomad, somebody who works for themselves and dictates where they can go and what time they can wake up. I wake up at 12 o'clock every day because I can, because nobody tells me what time to wake up or go to sleep. If you want to be in that sort of position, then you need to understand that more often than not, your degree and your job are liabilities rather than assets. They're liabilities rather than assets. Now, use your own discernment for this. Use your own discernment. If you have $20 saved up, maybe you shouldn't quit your job just yet. But at the very least, what you need to do is you need to start crafting an escape strategy, an exit strategy for your current situation. Because all of the bandwidth that you are allocating to that job, that dead-end job that you don't even want to work, or that degree that isn't going to serve you on your path to being a digital nomad, if you are allocating all of that extra bandwidth to those areas, then you're not allocating that bandwidth to the area that actually matters, which is the path that you've chosen, which, again, I recommend YouTube. You need to free up that bandwidth so that you can have the space to not only think of good ideas, but act on them. There was a point in time where, once again, I was working at H&M. I was working a retail job, and I found it very, very difficult to come up with good ideas and act on them consistently because so much of my bandwidth was being consumed by the fact that I was working at a job that I despised. And the job served a purpose in my life, But once it stopped serving that purpose, which was to allow me to purchase content to create videos, higher quality videos for my subscribers, which I had probably 500 at the time. Once it stopped serving that purpose, I put in my 2 weeks notice like that, and I was gone. And a couple of months later, I got monetized on YouTube because all of the bandwidth, all of the hours that I had previously spent working at that job, I was now putting on the thing that actually mattered, the thing that would move the needle and allow me to live a life of freedom. So again, if you're not in a position where it's advantageous for you to burn the ships just yet, then don't burn the ships. Use discernment. Never just take what I say and run with it without thinking for yourself. My channel is for people who are willing, because everyone's able to, but not everyone's willing to, think for themselves. So think for yourself. Use your own discernment. But even if you're not in that position just yet, even if you're not in a position to burn the ships, even if you have responsibilities like rent, or maybe you have children, I don't know. If you're in that position, start crafting an exit strategy. Set a number, a definitive number goal that when you reach that number in your account, you are going to quit that job and you're going to go all in on your business, on your path, whatever that path is for you. Or with school, you can finish off the semester and then take a gap year. Frame it to yourself as a gap year. Tell your parents that you're taking a gap year to collect yourself and figure out what you want to do, because you don't want to waste your money on a degree that you're not going to end up using anyways. And if they don't understand, then hey, that's on them. This is your life to live. Now, once you do that, once you burn the ships or start crafting your exit strategy, the next thing you need to do to become a digital nomad in 2025 is you need to become a minimalist. Why do you need to become a minimalist to become a digital nomad? Well, the answer is simple. Being a minimalist makes it much easier to move around. Now, I'm not telling you that you need to sell all of your stuff or throw it all away or give it all to the Salvation Army, but you need to start focusing on the things that actually serve a purpose in your life. That's really all minimalism is, in my opinion, is ensuring that everything in your life has some sort of utility value, even if that utility value is just sentimental value. But ideally, it would be purely utility value, so things that you actually use on a day-to-day basis. Because when you remove the things that don't have a purpose in your life, you become more likely to find your purpose, because you're putting yourself in an environment where everything is purposeful. When everything around you is purposeful, guess what's going to happen? You're going to find your purpose. It's only natural. You're going to find your purpose, or rather, your purpose will find you, and you'll be able to use the path that you've chosen, that YouTube channel or the dropshipping store, whatever it may be. You'll be able to use that business model to deliver and distribute your purpose to the masses. And that's where the fulfillment comes into play. Now, from a more practical standpoint, being a minimalist allows you to just travel more freely. Okay, I don't know if you've seen the price of checked bags, but that shit is expensive, and it adds up over time. If you're going to be a digital nomad who's traveling every year or even every couple of months, that's going to add up over time. So you want to get yourself in a position where ideally you have one checked bag, or if you can limit it down to one carry-on, that's even better. But one checked bag is ideal, and you take that one checked bag with you wherever you go, and that's all you have. All of your possessions are in that bag and your carry-on, your personal item. And when you do that, you're going to feel a sense of freedom unlike which you've ever felt in the past. Now, once you become a minimalist and you burn the bridges or create an exit strategy and you've chosen your business model and you've committed to pursuing that business model, the next thing you need to do is you need to leave the USA. Leave the USA. Why do you need to leave the USA, assuming that you live in the USA? The reason why is because in the early days of making money online, you're not going to make a lot. And even if you do make a lot, making money online tends to be a bit volatile until you establish yourself in whatever space you're in. And that takes time. There's no way around that. There's no course or coaching program or seminar that can help you avoid that truth. It's going to take time to establish yourself. In that interim period, you want to put yourself in a position where your cost of living is as low as possible. But in the US, for the most part, that is simply not feasible. It's just not feasible. I don't know what the prices are like right now because I'm not in the US, but when I was in the US a little over a year ago, things were getting out of hand. Things were getting out of hand. And I would imagine, I'm actually going back to the US here in a month or two, but I would imagine that it's only gotten worse. So leave the US so that you can live below your means while also living in style. You can struggle in style. Because there are countries out there where $400 a month will get you a high-rise apartment near the beach, near the city center, where all of the action is happening. The good side of town, $400 a month. Tell me where in the US you can live in a high-rise for $400 a month. Comment it below. If you can provide evidence that this is possible, I will pack my bags today. And my next video will be from that high rise. But I've yet to see it because as far as I'm aware, it does not exist. Not in the US, but in countries like Thailand, for example, or maybe even Bali. I'm not going to name all the countries because I'm not going to lie. I kind of want to gatekeep because on the off chance that this video goes viral, I don't want these places to become oversaturated and then they end up being overpriced. So if you want more details about different places or the place that I myself am aiming to go to, then you can click the link in the description and learn more about my coaching program where I help people become digital nomads. But whether you choose to do that or not doesn't really matter. What matters is that you follow this advice. Because if you follow this advice, you are going to get the results. I can't tell you how long it's going to take you. I know that if you join my coaching program, it'll be much faster. But ultimately, you still have to put in the work. There's no coaching program that can help you avoid that truth. You have to put in the work. And it all starts with you making a decision on what work you're going to put in.